The story of Dragon Ball Infinity tells the tale of the first ever Saiyan God of Destruction. Not only that, the entire thing is set on the home planet of Beerus and Champa. This is a story about their people and how their planet works, and ultimately, not only how the first ever Saiyan God of Destruction was created, how Beerus and Champa became gods as well. It's a very interesting take on a storyline that has not yet been adapted in the main canon of Dragon Ball Super. This takes place in a time millions and millions of years ago. So, as we continue this story of Timer being sent to this planet as a baby, time has passed and he has now grown into a fully adult man. Having trained with and defeated Beerus' dad, he is now on a different type of mission. This fan story goes into the lore and backstory of the planet that Beerus was raised on. We start out in the city of Su, which acts as the capital of this place. This whole place obviously has a very Egyptian feel to it. There's statues, there's hieroglyphics, there's pyramids. Everything seems to be based around Egypt, which makes sense when you look at Beerus, who is clearly based off Anubis. The whole planet is very technologically advanced, and Beerus' race isn't the only race of people that inhabit this planet. There are others as well, and right now Timer is with this bird. You could look at it as these type of birds are the wise scholars of this world because he doesn't look physically very strong, but he has other type of abilities. Their training begins in the hyperbolic time chamber, Beerus' planet's version of the hyperbolic time chamber, and it's pretty cool. This is all in an effort to take down the king, because in previous chapters, the king of this world, the pharaoh, he threw Beerus' dad in prison, and the same thing with Timer because he turned into a great ape. In the prison, Beerus' dad and Timer formed a pretty strong bond. They trained together and they were in there for quite a while. Beerus' dad made Timer into the fighter that he is today, and when they got out of the prison, the pharaoh made them fight to the death. And if they declined the fight, Timer's mother would be killed, and so would Beerus' dad's kids, which would mean Beerus and Champa would be killed. So they had no choice. While in the time chamber, Timer doesn't do any physical training. It's actually very interesting. He's with this pharaoh-type bird, and he tells him to read this book. The properties inside this book have all kinds of energy that, if you read it, will transfer into your own life. This may look like a single book, but it actually contains over 36,000 books into one. That's why they're in the hyperbolic time chamber, because they need a lot of time very quickly. So Timer's training is to literally read 30,000 books in the hyperbolic time chamber. Not train, just read the books and then he'll get the energy. He gets given the ability to be able to super read, and it's actually pretty funny. He gets tapped on the head like it's this huge power up. His eyes go white, pupils are gone, and he flicks through this book really fast. It's almost like he was getting his potential unlocked, but no, he's just able to read really fast now. So he gets it done and he smacks the book on the ground, gets up, and there's this aura about him now. From reading this book on Beerus' planet, it had some kind of mystical powers that gave him new life energy. When they step out of the time chamber, you can see all kinds of petty criminal activity going on by what looks like Beerus' sister, but no, it's just another member of Beerus' race. Just some petty thievery. Now, Timer, wearing the cloth of the people, the hieroglyphs on the head, he says, "You are not my enemy. Just go back to the main city and take shelter. Your king will fall today." What happens in the final parts of this chapter, a huge alligator-looking guy comes out of the Nile, and sitting on the throne is the king, coming face to face with the first ever future Saiyan God of Destruction. This story is beginning to stand on its own as its own piece of lore. Because the history of Beerus' people is such an unexplored topic, this is the most coverage it's ever gotten. That was chapter 7 of Jordan Durham's Dragon Ball Infinity. If you want to check out the full thing for yourself, I'll leave it down below. Let me know what you think. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Dragon Ball video.